Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the parathyroid gland. The parathyroid gland, that is the third one. The parathyroid glands are here situated in the thyroid gland. This is full complete thyroid gland in which 4 red colored dots are here. You can see these 4 red color round portions are nothing but parathyroid glands. Now, parathyroid glands are 4 in number, which are small oval glands, yellowish orange in color, weighing about 50 milligrams, and the size is 6 into 4 into 2 millimeter mm. They are yellowish orange in color, weighing about 50 milligrams. So these are 4 in number. They lie on the posterior surface of the thyroid glands. They are in 2 pairs, superior and inferior pairs. Attached or embedded 2 in each lobe. They are 4 in number, which lie on the posterior surface of the thyroid gland, and they are in 2 pairs, superior pair and inferior pairs, attached or embedded 2 in each lobe. In each lobe there are 2 structures. They are the parathyroid glands. Blood supply is mainly by inferior thyroid artery. They also receive blood from superior thyroid artery. Inferior and superior thyroid artery supplies the blood to this gland, that is the parathyroid gland. Coming to the histology, the transverse section shows thin fibrous capsule around the growth connective tissue, around the gland, with connective tissue contain spherical cells arranged in columns. The glands are surrounded by a fibrous capsule. Coming to the next point, the parenchyma consists of irregular cords of cells with blood capillaries in between. There are 2 types of cells in the section you can see clearly. That is the first one, principal or chief cells. Then the second one is oxyphil cells. 2 types of cells, chief cells and oxyphil cells. Chief cells are more in younger ones. Polygonal cells with centrally situated nucleus and pale staining acidophilic cytoplasm. Acidophilic cytoplasm is there in their cell. Coming to the second one, oxyphil cells, larger in size with more granules and darkly staining cells. Their number increases with the age. With the age, the number of these cells increases. The chief cells of gland secrete the parathyroid hormone PTH, parathyroid hormone. It is also called as parathormone. The secretion of PTH is controlled by the level of calcium ions. The secretion of PTH is controlled by calcium ions in the blood. The hormone regulates the calcium level in the blood by increasing reabsorption of calcium ions in the kidney and from digestive system. It stimulates the process of reabsorption and maintain bone structure. It stimulates the process of reabsorption and maintain the bone structure. It plays an important role in promoting proper nerve and muscle function. It plays an important role in promoting proper nerve and muscle function. Nerve and muscle function is maintained by this hormone. Less secretion of PTH causes drop in the level of calcium. Less secretion causes the drop in the calcium level in the blood, which result in violent muscular spasm known as tetany. Tetany is caused by the less secretion of PTH. It also increases the absorption of calcium and phosphate from the gut of the digestive tract and enhances the vitamin D synthesis. It enhances the vitamin D synthesis. Now coming to the phenomenon called as hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism. It is the overactivity of thyroid gland that produces too much thyroxine hormone. This results in thyrotoxicosis, neurosensus, hot, moist hands, elevated body temperature, increased heart and metabolic rates, increased blood pressure and weight loss. These are the symptoms of this disease. That is, this results in thyrotoxicosis. So this thyrotoxicosis is nothing but the hyperthyroidism condition, which results into the nervousness, hot moist hands, elevated body temperature, increased heart and metabolic rates, increased blood pressure and weight loss. In some cases, it may cause exthalamia. In some cases, it may cause exothalamia, that is protrusion of eyeballs. The protrusion of the eyeballs. The eyeballs will be protruded front side. It can be treated with medication or by surgical removal of part of thyroid gland. So it can be treated with the medication as well as surgical method. Then hypothyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is over. Hypothyroidism. This is caused by underactivity of thyroxine hormone of the thyroid gland. It causes cretinism in children and myxedema in adults. Decreased hormone production results in lower metabolic rates and body temperature, lack of energy, dry and thick skin and weight gain. This can be treated with supplementary thyroxine. This is caused by the underactivity of the thyroxine hormone, less production of the thyroxine hormone. Next is goiter, that is the enlargement of the thyroid gland. Goiter, 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 enlargement of thyroid gland. This is nothing but swelling of thyroid gland as a result of iodine deficiency. The iodine deficiency causes the disease called as goiter, the enlargement of thyroid gland. This can be treated by providing iodinized salt. Decreased level of thyroxine causes fall in cellular respiration rate. Cells produce less energy and become less active. Hyperparathyroidism. So, three diseases we have learnt in the thyroid, that is hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism and goiter. Now coming to the parathyroid, that is hyperparathyroidism. The increased amount of parathyroid hormones in circulation causes this disease. Excess secretion of hormone brings demineralization of bones. The protein matrix of the bone is also absorbed, resulting in bone cyst and elevation in calcium level in the blood. The elevation of calcium level causes calcification of kidney, arteries, stomach and lungs. Now coming to the hypoparathyroidism. The decreased secretion of parathyroid hormone causes fall in the blood calcium level, resulting in tetany. Tetany is characterized by the low serum calcium, that is hypocalcemia. This results reduced urinary excretion of the calcium and phosphate, neuromuscular disorders, spasm of the muscles and the cramps. So this is all about the parathyroid and thyroid disorders. Coming to the fourth major gland, that is a ductless gland or the endocrine gland, that is adrenal or suprarenal gland. Adrenal gland, or it is also called as suprarenal gland, the fourth endocrine gland. Point number 1, the adrenals or suprarenals are paired glands. The adrenals or the suprarenal glands are 2 in number. They are paired. They are situated on the superior surface or upper pole of each kidney. The upper pole of kidney contain, or the superior surface of the kidney have these 2 glands, adrenal glands. They are slightly vascular and they are highly vascular and yellowish pink in color. They are yellowish pink in color. The right suprarenal gland is pyramidal in shape, look like a cap on kidney. The left suprarenal gland is similar in semilunar in shape. The left suprarenal gland or the adrenal gland is semilunar, half moon, semilunar in shape. They are 4 cm long and 3 cm thick, weighing 5 grams. They weigh 5 grams. The blood supply is through 3 sets of arteries. Superior, that is suprarenal artery, the branch of inferior phrenic artery. This is the branch of the inferior phrenic artery. Second one is the middle, which is called as suprarenal artery. It is nothing but the direct branch of abdominal aorta, direct branch. Third one is the inferior, that is suprarenal arteries from renal artery. It comes from the renal arteries. Coming to the histology of the adrenal gland, the adrenal glands are surrounded by an outer connective tissue capsule, a cortex and medulla. There are 3 portions. The outer connective tissue capsule, Next is cortex, and the central portion is the medulla. The arteries and the nerves enter the glands at different sites, whereas veins leave through hilum. Helium. They leave through the helium of the gland. The outer cortex and inner medulla are functional portions of the gland. They are the functional portions. Cortex and medulla are the main functional portions of the gland. Cortex is yellowish in color. Functionally, cortex is divided into three regions. The cortex is divided into three regions. First one, outermost zone. It is named as zona glomerulosa. Zona glomerulosa, made up of polyhedral cells, occur as small clusters. Second one is middle zone, zona fasciculata. Zona fasciculata, thicker layer with large polyhedral cells arranged in large columns with sinusoids in between. The middle zone is also called as zona fasciculata. The third inner zone is called as zona reticularis. Zona reticularis. Cells arranged in the form of network. The cells are arranged in the form of network. Medulla is dark in color, lies in the center of the gland with large oval and columnar chromophene cells which are grouped into clumps around the blood vessel. Coming to the functions, the hormones produced by suprarenal cortex are derived from cholesterol called steroids or corticoids. Steroids or corticoids. The hormones produced by the cortex region, they are steroids or corticoids derived from cholesterol. Coming to the cortex, the first zone, zona glomerulosa, the first zone or the outermost zone, which is called as zona glomerulosa. The zona glomerulosa of the cortex produces and secretes mineralocorticoids, mainly aldosterone. Mineralocorticoids, mainly aldosterone. So the aldosterone hormone is produced by zona glomerulosa of the cortex, which is the outermost layer of the cortex. Second one, next point, aldosterone regulates sodium and potassium balance in the blood. Aldosterone, which is produced by the zona glomerulosa, it regulates the sodium and the potassium balance in the blood. Second one, fluid electrolyte balance also maintained. It maintains the osmotic pressure and blood pressure also. It maintains the osmotic and blood pressure also. It has a major role in stress tolerance. During the stress tolerance, it has a major role. It takes part, a major part. Then zona fasciculata, the middle zone, zona fasciculata of the cortex. This zone produces and secretes group of hormones called glucocorticoids. The zona fasciculata glomerulosa secretes aldosterone and the zona fasciculata secretes glucocorticoids, a group of hormones, glucocorticoids. Second point, the chief glucocorticoid is cortisol. Cortisol is produced by fasciculata, that is the zona fasciculata region of the cortex. Glucocorticoids are life-saving hormones. These are called life-saving hormones, glucocorticoids. This hormone stimulates carbohydrate metabolism, glycogenesis, lipid metabolism, lipolysis, and protein metabolism, proteolysis. Proteolysis. It regulates the cardiovascular system and kidney functions. It also acts as an anti-inflammatory agent. It also decreases glucose utilization by tissues, which leads to increased blood glucose level. It also decreases glucose utilization by tissues, which leads to increased blood glucose level. Coming to the zona reticularis, that is the third zone, innermost zone of the cortex, that is the zona reticularis. This zone secretes small amount of sex hormones. They are nothing but androgen and estrogens. Androgen and estrogens are secreted in a small amount by this zona reticularis, that is the innermost zone. Now, these gonadotrophins or the sex hormones influence sexual growth and development, such as growth of axial, pubic and facial hairs. Axial, pubic and facial hairs. The hairs which develop in our body parts, three parts, that is the axial part, then pubic part and the facial part. So in these three parts the hairs develop, and this development is controlled or influenced by these gonadotrophic hormones. They are the sexual hormones, androgen and estrogen. Coming to the medulla, medulla is the innermost layer of the gland. It secretes two hormones, adrenaline. The first one is the adrenaline, which is also called epinephrine. Epinephrine. This is also called epinephrine. Adrenaline. This is also called epinephrine. Second one is noradrenaline or norepinephrine. Noradrenaline. Two hormones are produced by the medulla. These hormones are called as emergency hormones because they are secreted in response to stress and emergency conditions by sympathetic nervous system. The actions of adrenaline or epinephrine are: it stimulates the construction of blood vessels, supplying intestine, kidneys and the skin. Constructions of blood vessels supplying intestine, kidneys and the skin. It stimulates the construction of the blood vessels. It causes dilation of blood vessels supplying skeletal and heart muscles. It increases the rate of frequency of the heartbeat. It causes the relaxation of the smooth muscles of digestive tract and helps to stop peristalsis. It causes the relaxation of smooth muscles of digestive tract and helps to stop peristalsis. Fifth one, it causes it causes the contraction of hair follicle muscles, that is arrector pillae muscle, which is present in the hair follicle below the hair, and the contraction of the hair follicle muscle of the skin and make the hair to stand still. It acts on the hair follicle muscle, that is arrector pillae muscle. Next point, it accelerates the respiration and stimulates mental alertness. It accelerates respiration and stimulates mental alertness.